Okay. Good evening, college football fans. We are back after a Thanksgiving break for week 14 of College Football 26 season-long Imperialism. 44 teams remain and only 7 episodes left in this gargantuan project that we really downsized from last year, obviously. We're going to do 6 games tonight, getting down to the top 38. We're only 1 week away from the actual full college ball playoff reveal next Tuesday. I think I'm going to go live at 7 to stream that and then do the episode afterwards so we can get the live reaction to those rankings, although I don't think there's much suspense this year. Anyway, we've got the 44 teams remaining right here. Let's pull this wheel. This is the wheel that shows the teams that have not played yet in this tournament. This is the wheel we're going to be spinning for the next couple episodes until there's nothing left in this wheel. So we'll spin that to find out who is going to be the road team, and they will play somebody else, just so that when we get to the top 25, every single team will have played in this tournament. So we're going to shuffle this. And hold on. Screen capture is at the right level. Let's turn that up a little bit. There we go. All right. Let's get this started. Who is going to be the first team to play in this episode? Are we going to UCF? Possibly. Is it staying on Washington? Nope. We're going back to Florida. UCF has avoided at least one battle, possibly 2, in this tournament, and this might finally be their time. They border Florida, who's been chilling with an extra life doing absolutely nothing all tournament, and Miami to the south. Who will they play? Let's find out together. That's going to be straight into the Atlantic Ocean, so they won't play anybody. UCF avoids conflict once again, and we have to go back to the wheel. So we're going to shuffle and do this again. Who will it be this time? It's not going to be USCF. It's not going to be LSU. Is it Boston College? Yes, it is. Golden Eagles have been landed on once. They expanded into Rhode Island, I believe. And now this finally could be their time. Mainly, the main reason I did this rule change. Oh, God. This isn't updating. Hold on. Restart capture. There we go. So now you can see. The main reason I changed these rules is to get Boston College out of their little corner. But even so, they still might just jump into the Atlantic here or just pick up New Hampshire. So let's see if the Golden Eagles will actually play or will avoid playing yet again. That's directly south, and I don't think Penn State's territory reaches further south enough for that to mean anything. So Boston College gets lucky again and avoids playing again. So we got to shuffle for a third time and launch right into this. The problem, most of the teams that avoided playing are on the edges. They have so much ocean territory. Washington included, obviously. I believe they've already avoided playing once. We'll see if they can avoid playing again. They've got Oregon State and they have Utah as the 2 teams they're bordering. So we're going to spin this arrow and see if the Huskies will play. And they will not. Washington avoids playing as well. So it's 3 now. UCF, Boston College, and Washington all dodging the arrow as we shuffle this wheel for a 4th time. I don't think we've ever had 4 misses in a row. We've maybe had 3 misses in a row, but it's rare. Is it UCF again? Nope, it's going to be Buffalo this time. So another team. This is the thing. We're just trying to test these coastal teams that would normally just get all the way to the top 20 without having to do anything for the whole tournament. Here's Buffalo with a huge amount of, lake territory. They've got Penn State and Pitt as the only 2 teams that they could conceivably face right here. So let's spin this arrow and find out if we will get a game for Buffalo. And we will not. Oh my God. Okay, that's 4 in a row that have not resulted in a single game. Number 5. Is this going to give us anything? Is it Washington? I think it's Washington again. It's So here we go again. Washington gonna go onto the map this time. This is why we did this. Because it's so many mid or bad teams that are just benefiting from their spot. And it's not like we haven't given them that advantage. They have survived like 100 wheel spins to this point. But it's their time, you know? Washington, as I said before, bordering Oregon State and Utah. Let's see if they get the right arrow spin this time. And they do. That'll go directly south, and it's going to be Washington versus Oregon State. Here we go. Let's get it set up. I'm just going to pull up those two rosters here as we're getting set up. This is a Pac-12 rivalry that, you know, benefits from the proximity of these two schools. But Washington left their Pac-12 buddy behind when they took a whole bunch of money to join the Big Ten. And now Oregon State, who has never won a game in Imperialism, has an opportunity for revenge. Meanwhile, Washington has never won a game either. They made the top 4 last year, getting all the way to the semifinals before finally getting beaten in their first action, I believe, by Michigan. I could be wrong about that. But here we go. 2 teams with a chance to get their first victory. Finally in our first game of the night. So there goes the kick. It's going to be returned by Washington. He gets to the outside and tries to spin and is completely stuffed by number 1. So here comes Washington's quarterback. I believe it's going to be DeMond Williams Jr. getting the start. I think. Jonah Coleman, a 93 overall running back, but the Beavers also have a very good running back. It was a 90 overall, so it should be an interesting battle in the run game. As Williams gets set, he's going to hand it off to that running back. There he goes. A beautiful run, just rumbling forward. Jonah Coleman up to the 37-yard line as we go to Super Sim. There we go. Oregon State takes a 7-0 lead, 14-0. Do we have an upset on our hands? We just might. 14-7. Washington trying to keep it close. 17-7. It's multiple score game. 24-7. Washington desperate. Can they get another score on the board? They cannot. 27-14. 33-14. And that is your ball game. 36-14 is your final. Oregon State gets the first ever Imperialism victory. And this just disconnected. Apologies for that. Their first ever Imperialism victory out of the Pac-2. Because Washington State's never won a game. They lost their first of the tournament earlier this year. As we go to the map. And folks, this is why you do it. Washington is gone. Huskies, you avoided a whole bunch of battles, but that's all you really did. You scored 14 points and got beat by a team without a conference. Bye-bye. We're just going to pop over here, grab that. Update these islands. It's one annoying part about Washington getting into the game is that these islands have to change every time their territory does. And there's not any orange or purple in there. We're good on that end. There we go. That's still valid. We're going to pop this over here. And now Oregon State's logo takes the same advantageous spot that Washington's had. We can expand this way down. And then shift it over. And then do it again, going way down. Is there anywhere else we can put this where it can become bigger? I think so. Now we're going way up. I think that's the spot for them. So Oregon State is now setting up a matchup with their very highly ranked interstate rivals. That'll probably happen relatively soon. So we go over here. We got to eliminate both Washington and Oregon State from this wheel. There we go. And then Washington will disappear from this one. We're down to 43. We're going to shuffle and spin once again. Really getting down to brass tacks here, as it's going to be Boston College for the second time in this episode. Come out wherever you are, Golden Eagles. You will play in the next 3 episodes. I guarantee that, because that's how the rules work. I also forgot to change the lights for Oregon State. That's on me. I have the controller right next to me. I just forgot to use it. But let's pull up the arrow and see if Boston College will finally begin their Imperialism campaign. Here we go. They will. It's Boston College versus Penn State, and this will decide whether the Nittany Lions can earn an extra life. They have been counted out and embarrassed. They fired their coach in real life, but this is about to be the most monumental accomplishment for their team this season. Remember, Boston College beat Michigan in Imperialism last year, so they could pull off something crazy here. But yeah, let's get it set up. Boston College versus Penn State. Here we go. All right, it's an East Coast battle. Penn State looking to become the 4th team of this tournament to secure an extra life, defending Happy Valley once again. Nittany Lions still don't have a head coach, as they look for somebody to replace James Franklin, who you just saw on your screen a couple seconds ago. But maybe a great Imperialism run will inspire somebody who knows how to build a football program to go down to State College and bring the Nittany Lions back from the brink of irrelevance, as Penn State runs on out, looking for victory number 5. Can they avoid the upset that Michigan suffered last year to Boston College? Only time will tell. It's Ethan Grunkemeyer, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, Zane Durant, Denai Dennis Sutton, and the Penn State Nittany Lions getting to work. They will receive the ball to start this ball game as we get underway. Turn up to the 20, to the 25. He breaks a tackle to the 40, 50, 45, 40. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. It's the first ever Imperialism opening kickoff return for a touchdown. You have got to be kidding me with that. Quentin Martin Jr. putting his name in Imperialism lore with an unbelievable return. Oh my goodness. A shocking way to start as Ryan Barker puts it through the uprights. It's 7-0. We're going to have to show this next kickoff and the first play for Boston College before we go to Super Sim. Wow. Penn State emphatically taking this extra life. They're not just going to stumble to the finish line like Oklahoma did against Kansas. And something tells me they might not lose this extra life for a while. And a fantastic tackle on the kick return, only to the 10-yard line. As Penn State's defense gets set up. It's a group with so much talent, so much NFL potential. As Boston College's quarterback, Dylan Lonergan, drops back, throws a short pass to number 11, and he will pick up about 7 yards there as we go to Super Sim. We'll see if Boston College can hold their own at all against this incredibly talented team that really had a rough turn of luck this season. 14-zip Penn State. 17-zip Penn State. Still nothing. 24-0. 27-0. It's an embarrassing shutout for Boston College as we eliminate them from the map right along with Washington. It's 37-44-0. The biggest blowout we've seen so far this tournament goes the way of Penn State as they secure an extra life to really begin their Imperialism dynasty as we move through the last few weeks of this tournament. 44-0. with an opening kickoff touchdown to boot. There we go. Just catch these little guys, and then... yeah, that works. Boston College, you've been hiding out long enough, and you've been smoked out. Bye-bye. Get that. There's nothing we can do to increase the logo size for Penn State here, so we're going to leave it as is. But the one thing we can add... oh, you know what we can add. We can add an extra... oopsie. An extra life. There it is. Nope, not James Madison. They've already had theirs and lost it. We're going to give this one to Penn State. Put it up in the corner there so that everybody knows the Nittany Lions are not to be trifled with. Okay. Now we got to eliminate Boston College from this wheel. And then we got to eliminate Boston College from this wheel. Right at the bottom. How did I know? And only 13 teams left on this side. 42 on that wheel. So we have 4 battles to go tonight. Spin. We're really missing some bread on the wheel. As we go to Oregon. Finally, one of the last remaining college football playoff hopefuls that hasn't played will finally enter the fray. It's either Oregon State, Utah, Nevada, or Cal, or they just jump straight into the Pacific and avoid playing altogether. Let's pull up the wheel and find out where the Ducks are going. That's going to be straight up, and it's an intrastate battle here between Oregon and Oregon State. Let's get it set up. Haven't had to stop any of these games yet. We got close with the Oregon State-Washington game, but it never quite got close enough. Oregon State, this is the battle they were inevitably going to have to win if they wanted any chance of a Cinderella impossible Imperialism run. They were going to have to beat Oregon. And now, their biggest rival enters their stadium. Ranked number 4 in CFB 26. I believe they're number 5 nationally right now after Texas A&M lost. Looking for a home game in the college football playoff this year. But first, they have to get past Oregon State right here. Let's change the lighting. I think I have one that's just orange. This one's pretty close. Nah, it's Texas. Hold on. I can do better than that. Can I do better than that? Tennessee? That's... This is pretty close. It's not great. There's not really a good way to do orange that reflects well with this lighting. Anyway, first play of the game for Dante Moore, the Heisman hopeful and NFL draft prospect. Sending a man in motion, sending him back. Moore takes the snap, rolls out, throws short, and it's going to be caught for an 8-yard gain on the opening play, which will bring up 2nd and 2 as we go to Super Sim. Seven 0 Oregon. That's to be expected. Oregon State 21-0. Oh God, 24-0. 27-0. It's a whole week of snoozers. But like, again, this is why we expose the edge teams. Because we don't want these games to happen in the top 10 when it's like high stakes and we've been building up to it for months. We want to get rid of all of these snooze games right now so it can be a whole bunch of very exciting contests in the later stages of the tournament. As we go to the map, 37-14 is your final. Oregon destroys Oregon State. we go. Avert your eyes, Oregon State fans, because you now wear the colors of your rival. Bye-bye. Ah, shoot. Hold on. There we go. And now we can make this Oregon logo very, very big. But where to put it? Is that the biggest it can go? There we go. All right, so Oregon has now taken over half of Washington and their entire home state. And that is what this west region of the map looks like as we drop Oregon from that wheel. Only 12 teams haven't played yet. And Oregon State is eliminated right there. We're down to 41, just 3 games to go tonight as we after contenders. As we shuffle once again to see who plays next. It's Air Force. Finally! The last remaining military school will probably be eliminated just before the top 40. They've got Colorado and Arizona State as the only 2 options. Let's see if the wheel gives them does them a favor, or sends them straight into the arms of the Sun Devils, who are looking to secure an extra life. It's going to be Colorado. So Air Force gets a break in a rematch of one of the very early games from last year. Let's get it set up. And somehow, I don't think we're going to need the rosters for this one either. I think Colorado, as flawed as this team is this year, I think they might carry. Buffalo fans getting ready for a cupcake game, which is the only kind of game we can really expect them to win this year. Because as soon as Colorado beats Air Force, they're bordering Utah, BYU, and Arizona State. I would not take the Buffaloes in any of those intra-conference matchups. But they're getting excited here. They won 4 games last season, came up just short of an extra life by losing to Missouri. Now the tables have turned. They've made it much, much further, but their run is not going to be anywhere near as significant as it was last year. Air Force takes the return out. It's another decent return past the 20 up to the 21-yard line. And that is where the Falcons will get started here. The last remaining military team with a... Oh, he's number 96. Oh my god, I thought he was a 96 overall. That would have been insane. Here comes their quarterback starting under center in a very weird wing formation. They go with the triple option. He rolls outside, pitches it, and it gets completely shut down by Taufik Bayard. Making that stop as we go to Super Sim. Three 0 Air Force. You got to be kidding me. It's still 3-0 Air Force. Colorado finally gets a touchdown, and now they're starting to put it away. A turnover by Air Force at a really inopportune time is going to mean this is another blowout. 24-3, 27-3, 27-9 is your final, but it's not close at all. Colorado beats Air Force. We only have 2 games left tonight, and we're barely 40 minutes in. This is going very, very quickly. As Colorado secures their first win of the tournament, and we go to the map. Here we go. Air Force, this has been coming for a long time. Sorry you couldn't get a win. Bye-bye. There we go. Bring this up here. Get rid of that. And expand this logo upwards. So there it is. Colorado has their new expanded territory. They are the last remaining team in their home state. But now they have run out of easy games. As we go to the wheel and eliminate both Colorado and Air Force. There we go, and there we go. Only 10 teams have yet to play in this tournament. Now we eliminate Air Force from Survivor Wheel. As we shuffle to get going. Once again, 2 games to go tonight. As we get close to the top 38. Who's going next? Is it UCF? No. Is it finally Utah State? It will be. I think their quarterback, who I loved watching all of last year, transferred out. Or he graduated. One of the two. But Utah State finally has to play in what could be the Utah State Championship. It probably is going to be the Utah State Championship, but they could face Nevada. Let's break out the arrow and see what happens here. It's close. Hold on. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, yeah, it's Utah. So this is going to be the Utah State Championship, getting a bunch of these state championships out of the way today. And this is probably going to be another dud of a game because Utah's very good and Utah State is not Power 4. That's simple. So we're going to get that set up. Here we go. All right. Utah getting started here, hoping for their second victory of the tournament. They've already taken out Boise State, and they can eliminate another Mountain West team here. And one of the Cinderellas of last year's tournament, if they're able to finish the job against the Utah State Aggies. I mean, they want to have a long run here in the West. They've only got Oregon and Arizona State as competition out here west of the Mississippi. They could really go on a run if they're able to pull off a quick cupcake win over their intra-state rivals. Utah State will start with the ball as we get underway. And it's not a kick return, only to the 15-yard line. I haven't had to pull up or look at the rosters once as we get these colors right. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, first play up and running here for the Aggies. Let's see if their quarterback can do anything interesting. He's going to toss it out to the left side. It's going to be caught by number 7 for absolutely nothing. 2nd and 9. Yeah, it's not Spencer Petras anymore, Mr. Short Yardage King, who was so fun to watch on his read options. But now that the computer has discovered quarterback sneaks, his advantage would have been much, less this year anyway. 7-0 Utah. 14-0 Utah. Utah State gets a touchdown. They're trying to keep it close. 17-7. They got to answer again. They can't. Can they? They can. Stop. It's 17-10 with 3 minutes to go. We're going to jump in. I got to get these rosters pulled up. Hold the phone. Utah State is on the road. And Utah Utes are right here. Let's get this going. At 17-10, Utah State is marching already past the 30-yard line, looking for a miraculous game-tying touchdown. Could we see the upset that was promised? It's number 16 and a quarterback. It's Bryson Barnes. Faking handoff, throwing short. It's going to be caught for a Utah State first down inside the 20. Barnes just over 120 yards passing. He's been stymied by the Utah defense, but he's done just enough to keep this game close. There's no way the Aggies can pull this upset twice, and this time on the road. That would be an incredible result here, and a huge disappointment for Utah, who has only won one game in this entire tournament's history. It's a run at the middle, goes for barely anything as number 0 is able to shut him down. That's Logan Fano, a very good defensive end for the Utes. And Spencer Fano, I believe, is his brother. Yeah. Both brothers, both very, very good players. As we hit the 2-minute timeout here, we finally get some action in week 14 of Imperialism. 2nd and 9. Utah's got to survive this upset if they want to be considered legitimate contenders in this tournament. Barnes waits, avoids the pressure, going to run it himself to the 10, tries to juke, and he is hit hard on the play. It'll be 3rd and 1. He's been sacked a lot, but he got back a couple of those yards there. 3rd and 1 now for Utah State. They're going to let the clock run as they try to play this game right. Barnes in the shotgun, hands it off. It's a first down. It's a touchdown! An incredible angle switch for Javen Jacobs, who slides into the end zone and gives Utah State an improbable tie game. Could be Javin Jacobs. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's a crazy consequential touchdown here, as Utah State could eliminate the main contenders for both Oregon and Arizona State out west. Also, this is not the Utah State Championship yet because BYU is still active. Completely forgot about that. Here's the all-important game-tying extra point for Tanner Rinker. Snap, hold, kick is good. And with 1:32 to go, Utah has all 3 timeouts. They're going to have to march down the field and do something against a Utah State defense that has held firm for most of this game. I really didn't expect this to be a contest, but Utah State continues to prove me wrong. So here are the Utes. Devin Dampier will get things started. He drops back, waits, throws short. It's going to be caught, and nothing doing there. It's a fantastic pass breakup by the Utah State defense. Bringing up 2nd and 10 with 1:28 to go. You've got to be careful about the clock. I know you have 3 timeouts, but anytime you're tackled short of the first down marker, that is a high-risk play. Dampier throws short. It's going to be caught this time, but that's what I was talking about. He's tackled short of the first down, and 15 seconds are going to fall off the clock here. They will not call a timeout. I mean, all they have to do is kick a field goal, but still, it's a long way to go. And you've shown no sign of getting there so far, or any sign of urgency. Press coverage at the top of your screen. Dampier with only 1 minute to play. He drops back, wants to throw short. He does. It's going to be caught. Does he get the first down? Ball is out, and it's recovered by Utah. Timeout. Oh, he stretched, and the Utah State defender immediately saw that as an opportunity, but could not fall on the ball. It's going to be a run on 1st and 10. They're going to have to call another timeout here. But they won't. 15 seconds are going to fall off the clock, and they are still about 30 yards away from competent field goal range. That's one of the dumbest play calls I've ever seen. I'm not going to rescue them for that. Even if the clock glitch does work, it's not worth doing when you run the ball on 1st and 10 with less than a minute to go. Dampier throws deep, got his man. It is caught! An incredible catch. Close to field goal range now. They need a couple more yards. 29 seconds to go. They only have 1 timeout remaining. But Utah's in business. Dampier, season on the line. Sends his tight end in motion. They're going to fake the handoff. Dampier under pressure. He is sacked, and Utah's forced to use their last timeout. They're now pushed out of field goal range. This will be a 55-yard kick from here on 2nd and 12. So now it's going to be really interesting. You got to get this player out of bounds, because if you're tackled in bounds behind the first down marker, this game might be over. Dampier has to run again. Throws short. It's going to be incomplete. 3rd and 12. That was the game-winning throw. And the tight end dropped it. Rice Eccles Stadium has no nails left to bite. Nerves at an all-time high here in Utah. Dampier is going to hand it off. They don't have a timeout, and Utah State's going to save them. It's going to completely save them because I think Utah might punt here. They will try the field goal. Oh my goodness. It's Dylan Curtis sending it deep. The kick is good. With the season on the line, Dylan Curtis from 53 yards out gives Utah the lead once again, 20-17. That is a crazy clutch kick. 14 seconds to go. Utah State does have 2 timeouts, but they need a full-on miracle. This is going to have to be a deep ball, quick catch, get tackled, call the timeout. The kickoff doesn't help. Just let it bounce into the end zone. Come on, man. 10 seconds to go. Now you have 1 play. Barnes drops back, wants to throw deep. He throws short with 5 seconds to go, and they're going to call timeout. But now it's just a lateral play. I don't even know if you can do a lateral play in College Bowl 26, or if the CPU is smart enough to do so. So this is going to have to be a desperation Hail Mary with some magic thrown into boot. Barnes waits, throws short, and that is your ball game. Utah gets the win, 20-17. Devin Dampier is able to lead the game-winning field goal drive. It was a clunker of a drive, but he had one very, very good throw that saved the night for the Utes as they win their second game of the tournament. Utah State goes home empty-handed after last year's Cinderella run, but they really gave the Utes a scare. It was a good performance and a crazy catch by number 84. Oh, my God. What's his name? I don't know what his name is, but it's an all-time great catch in Imperialism history. There we go. Utah State, you gave us a really exciting game, which is saying a lot for this episode because it's the first one we've actually spectated. But you ultimately couldn't beat this nationally ranked team. Bye-bye. Gonna do this. We might be able to expand Utah's logo here. Let's take a look. That's a no. So Utah will stay exactly where they are. Utah State is going to be eliminated from this wheel. There they go. And Utah State will also be eliminated from the main wheel. They're gone. Game of the night. Let's get it shuffled. And here we go. We're only going to be left with 8 teams that haven't played yet by the end of this. And Alabama, the college football playoff hopeful, is finally entering the fray here in the 14th episode of the tournament. We haven't been to the Southeast in a long time. They're bordering Ole Miss, Tulane, and Florida State. They definitely know where they want to go, but they might not get there. Let's spin the arrow and find out who the Crimson Tide will play in their first matchup of the season. It's going to be Tulane. Oh boy. The Tulane Green Wave have to face a very tough opponent, which they're going to have to do regardless because they're probably making the College Bowl playoff unless they lose to North Texas, of course. So let's get it set up. Alabama versus Tulane. The Green Wave marching out in their southern Louisiana home. Getting ready to face one of the best teams in the SEC. And subsequently one of the best teams in the country. The Alabama Crimson Tide, who have figured out their season. After losing to Florida State in week 1, they have not lost since. Oh, no, they lost to Oklahoma. Hold on. Forgot that. But now they face one of the best teams in the group of 5, the Tulane Green Wave. We'll see if this one stays just as close as Utah versus Utah State was. The Tide take it out to the 15 to the 20, and he has dropped to the 22-yard line. A decent return for Cole Adams. As Ty Simpson, another NFL draft hopeful, takes the field, looking to send the Crimson Tide onward into the main section of this tournament. It's going to be a sack on the opening play. Maurice Westmoreland gets back there, sending us a super sim with a big TFL for the Tulane defense. That's a shocking way to start. And we're going to see the replay for that. So I pull up the roster over here, because this game might be closer than we previously anticipated. Can we still go to Super Sim? We cannot. Oops. 2nd and 18. Let's see if Ty Simpson can get him out of this hole here. Simpson hands it off, and that run is going to get them out of that hole and pick up 9 yards. 3rd and 9. Jam Miller with a good carry for the Tide. As we go to Super Sim. $7-0 Alabama. 14-0 Alabama. 14-7. 21-7. 28-7. And this game is just about over. Tulane, you beat Arkansas State. You beat my son. And for what? For what? Just to crap the bed against Alabama at home? Get out of here. Just get out. I don't want to see your face ever again. I hope you lose to North Texas on Saturday. Oh, God. What a disappointment from the Green Wave. I thought they were going to hold their own a little bit more. But Alabama stakes their claim in this tournament. There we go. This territory is back to being red, but it's the crimson of Alabama instead of the red of Arkansas State. Tulane, you killed my father. Prepare to die. Bye-bye. Mixing metaphors. I don't care. There we go. Zoom that up, and we can finally move Alabama's logo into a very big spot on the map. And zoom out a little bit so we can get a better picture here of how big we can make this thing. Gonna make this even bigger. Right there seems like the limit, unless if we move it up here we can increase it even more. I think we can, and we will. There we go. All this time this territory has just been waiting for Alabama to wake up. Well, they're awake, and nobody else is happy about it. Let's go to the wheel and knock Alabama off of it. As we go to this side to eliminate Tulane. There they go. Back to the map one more time just to see what this looks like. Now that we have hit the top 38, we are cleaning up all the edges, getting all the small territories out of the way so that when we get down to brass tacks, all that's left are the real squads. And the teams that have survived this far. James Madison's still alive. The only team that hasn't played yet, still bordering them, is Charlotte. So that game's probably going to happen at some point. But otherwise, they're smooth sailing for a bit. The only teams that still haven't played are Nevada, LSU, UCF, Florida, Charlotte, Purdue, Eastern Michigan, and Buffalo. That's it. Everybody else has already played and earned their spot on this map. And I will see you next week, probably on Sunday.